Hi friends, today I have something a little different than what I have been doing for you all. I have these little doodly underwater scenes that I do. I haven't really ever shown them to anyone publicly, and I decided to do one for you all. I decided to do it in a circle. I have this circle maker here that I'm going to use. I'm just going to use the outside. It's the perfect size for what I want to do. The colors I'm going to use are Cascade Green from Daniel Smith. It's a beautiful green. It granulates and has a little teal blue and gold as it granulates. It's really lovely as it dries. You won't see it here on this sample I'm doing, but as it dries, it'll spread out if there's water and bring a tealy green, tealy blue, really beautiful. One of my favorite colors. The other color is Prussian Green from Daniel Smith. It's kind of the same green. It doesn't granulate the same. It's a deeper, more richer color. And Holbein Gouache in gold. I'll be doing some accents with this. So I'm going to wet the paper all the way around. I want this to be really soppy. I want the colors to really spread and mingle amongst themselves and run. I really want it to be runny. So I'm going to really get this paper wet going along the edges of the circle. One thing to know about watercolor is watercolor will only spread where it's wet. It will not spread into a dry area. If you can understand that concept, you've learned so much about watercolor. So as you can see here, it's separating into that teal blue, and it's only going into the wet area. It will never go outside that circle because that circle is not wet. So I can safely keep it contained. I'm just going to keep building color, building these greens, seeing if I can get the gold to come out. I do have the Holbein gouache to use also. Tipping the paper and letting it run and drip and mingle. I absolutely just love that blue that it separates into. Cascade Green is, I think, my absolute favorite color from Daniel Smith, or even just in all of my watercolors, and I have a lot of watercolors. Cascade Green is my absolute favorite color. I don't want to make a solid circle. I just want the colors to mingle, to be very watery looking, and just mingle amongst themselves and build more on the bottom, and then just kind of have the top a little softer and lighter. I'm adding the gold into the wet paint, so in drips and drops, so it spreads in circles and it will be very soft. This technique I'm using here is with a very white paper. Let me say that again. This technique I'm using is with a very wet paper. If your paper dries out, just wet it a little more if you want it to keep seeping and mixing and mingling. Just add more water to it. It'll be fine. I just drop color in to the wet areas, dropping the gold in, adding some of that Prussian green into some wet areas. It's a little deeper, and letting it fade into the other colors. Trying to make some texture and some interest for the background of the drawing I'm going to do. Just dropping some water in here to get that Cascade Green, the Prussian Green, to spread a little further. So if it's giving you a hard edge and you would like it to not have a hard edge and to disperse a little more, just take your wet brush and come up to the edge of it and let the paint pick up that water, and then it will spread. You don't need to actually go into the color you put down, just touch the edge ever so gently. And if you want the paint to spread an inch, make the water go an inch. Whatever shape you want the paint to go into, make sure that that's what you have wet on the paper. If you only want a tiny, tiny little area to be, just wet the tiny area. So there's a theme here. It's just the paint will go where it's wet. Okay, so I have to apologize. I turned off my camera to let it dry, and when I came back, I forgot to turn it back on. So I lightly had sketched out with a 4H pencil what I wanted to do, not heavy details, just a basic idea of where I wanted it and what I wanted. So there's just a little bit here. You can kind of see it in this image in front of my hand. And then I forgot and I started inking, and I'm like, wait, I don't think my camera's on. So we missed the beginning stages. We didn't really miss much, but it was kind of the beginning. You'll see how I drew out that shape because I'm going to do another one on the other side. I'm deciding as I went along with the pencil on what I wanted. I think it's sometimes a good idea to go ahead lightly with the pencil first, so I know that if I want something in front of something else or behind, I can pre-plan that. This one, as I'm drawing something in front, I knew I wanted that to be solid, so it didn't matter how it was drawn. I could draw that tall, grassy shape first because I'm going to fill in this coral piece. So it didn't matter what order I put them down in. But sometimes for me it does matter, and I like to put it down in pencil first so I can plan it out somewhat. But I also like to leave it very spontaneous. I find that I enjoy the process more when most of it is as I ink. I like to add the little details and to go along. It seems more fun, it seems more relaxing when on the spur of the moment I just add shapes and dots and personality. I like to give each of these plants, animals, there's not even really a thing, it's just kind of all imaginary. I like to give them all their own little personality. I think about when I scuba dive, what I want to see or what I think I see when I'm down there, and I exaggerate what I really see. What would be really cool, almost this other world even more than what the under the water is. I take it a lot of steps further. I find that so much fun and exciting. It's a weird underworld that I draw with elements that are familiar and true. This shape, I knew I wanted that other grassy piece to be there, and I pre-drew that in, but the rest of it is not pre-drawn in, and I'm making it up as I go along. People often ask me, do you decide as on the spur of the moment? I do, actually. If I was to try to replicate this or pre-plan it, it would never come out the same. Each piece comes different. The space is different. The size of how I draw it is always different. I like the shapes to play together. I lose track of time when I'm doing these little underwater creatures, plants, whatever they are. If anyone has an idea of what you would call these things, I have no idea what to call them. If you want to leave in the comments how you would explain what these are. this particular drawing, I take it in a little bit of a weirder way to go and make it a little more creepy. It's not really creepy, but you'll see as I go along. Soon I'm going to add, I have an idea of what to do on the bottom to make it a little more weirder. I often fill my sketchbooks with these types of drawings, shapes from my imagination. I have many sketchbooks full of these. I love to draw them. I love to give them personality. If you'd like to see me do more of these, I would love to make more videos. If people are interested in looking at this kind of art, just let me know in the comments. I'll make some more. I love to do these. I can even share I can say that again. I can even share my sketchbook if you're interested in seeing my sketchbooks full of these kinds of designs. Just let me know in the comments and maybe I can make a video sharing my sketchbooks. I've made these in colored pen before, and I think that I just really enjoy them in black and white. I think it sets the mood that I'm trying to, the vibe, the mood that I'm trying to go with these. Sometimes I feel like it's almost like a Tim Burton kind of theme, but with underworld plant life. And the black and the white just speaks to me. These are so much fun for me to draw. I'm hoping you're enjoying it. I hope you don't think it's too weird. Drawing all the circles and shapes is so therapeutic and relaxing. Time just disappears when I draw these. And I'm so into it. I don't think about any other worries of my day or my life or anything like that. I really can get lost in this world. I hope that maybe you can give this a shot and you feel the same way. Similar to me, like with a little bit of a Zentangle thing happening here. I kind of feel some Zentangle elements that go into these. I think that might have been where this started for me. Might have started with Zentangle, but then I kind of took it more in the line of how I do my underwater worlds. When I do them with the white pen, that I have other videos of those that I do. It's kind of the same thing for me. But these kind of border on a little bit more of a weirdness that I think the others don't have. And I think I like this weirdness. There's a lot of mystery with these drawings for me. I also never do my videos with this stream of conscious while I draw and paint. Let me know what you think of my rambling. I'm usually more structured about what I say, or I do a voiceover, so I'm very structured about what I'm talking about. This time I'm just letting it go and just talking off the top of my head. Here I'm thinking about, well, how do I want to do the ends of these? So I kind of put that off for a minute, and I thought, I know I want to make these little plants that are kind of reaching to the sky, but drippy, looking like sandcastles. You know, when children make the drip castles at the beach. That's what inspired these drawings that I'm doing here. And I love to put the little bubbles in. I imagine everything has a life unto its own, and it's breathing, and the little bubbles are rising to the surface. That's why you'll see me put bubbles with almost everything I do. And there is no plan really to what I'm doing here. All the little leaves and plants are just in the spur of the moment, and it's almost as if my pen is just doing them. And I'm not really thinking too much about it. They're just coming out of me. I love when that happens. It's so much fun. And more little sand castles. I think out of all the things I draw, these underwater scenes are by far my favorite. I think I reach deep in my imagination to come up with personalities for all the plants. And some of them I almost feel like have an animal-like quality to them. And I was thinking, I want more of these drips to go below, to be dripping downward too. To me, it's like a little rock wall where the sand dripped down on and down below, and the plants grew out of this little rock wall. The pens I'm using are Micron. Let me see what the sizes are. I believe it is a 1, and let me see, a 1 or a 10. It's a 10 and a 0.05. I'm going between the two. The 5 I use to fill in larger areas, but the whole thing is mostly done with this 10. I just got a new pack of these. These are brand new, these Microns, and I'm so happy because I don't have to fight them. Most of my pens are so worn out that I have to fight to get the ink to run smoothly. I'm so happy today because these are brand new right out of the package, and they're working so well. This side pieces here, I wanted them more to go to the edge of the circle. So I'm just going to extend those drippy things a little bit and add more of the plant life going upward too. More sandcastles going upward. and more on the other side to finish the other side. I feel like the sides needed to be finished, but I didn't want it to be too heavy, so I'm just going to put some circles and some dashes down the sides, and I think along the bottom I'll just do a thin line to connect them. I don't want the sides to be too distracting from the scene, but I want to enclose this bubble a little bit. I don't know why I'm adding this shape. I don't know. I feel like I needed to just kind of frame it a little more. I'll do the same thing on the other side. At the bottom I'll put that solid line that I was thinking of doing, but just with the thin pen. Maybe some dots across the top. Something very faint, very fine, is to not distract. And I think this is done. I don't think I'm going to add any more. Sometimes it's hard for me to just stop. Yep, I think I'm finished. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know in the comments what you think about this style. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.